struggled. I tried to suppress, deny, whatever, my gender identity. And it wasn't until I finally accepted who I am as transgender that I finally found peace. And I really found connection with God. And it was when I decided to live as the woman that God created me to be, and that He wanted me to be, that I found a welcoming United Methodist Church. And their love and acceptance really helped me as I and my family went through this transitional process. They worked with my partner. They loved us. They loved my son as he struggled with dealing with these issues as well. My partner and I have been together 43 years, 44 next November. We love each other. We continue to love each other. And this hasn't changed our love for each other. And we have appreciated, and a good part of our being able to say that today has been the love that the church gave us as they shared and wept with Jan as we went through this and prayed with us, and as my son struggled with this, as they prayed for him and with him as well. I believe it's time for the church to abandon its drive to exclude people who seem different. It's been involved with this activity for years, and really it goes back to the early days of the church. From the beginning of the church, Gentiles they attempted to exclude Gentiles, and it took the action of the apostles to finally come to an agreement that the church really did need to be inclusive of everybody. And we've been struggling through our history. There have been times when African Americans have been excluded from the church, and the church has had to apologize and admit its wrongs and its sins and exclusion. The church has excluded women from full involvement in the church, and for the last 30 years it's been excluding the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and now they want to add a new category of exclusion to the book of discipline. It's affirmation's feeling that the time is now to stop excluding people, that we shouldn't be adding another level of exclusion to the book of discipline, but rather removing what exclusions are there and being open to all. We are here because Jesus invites us as He invites all. And all means all. And several of you have a pin that says that, and that's true. Nothing in the Bible speaks against transgender. Jesus even said that some people were born eunuchs. And that could be called a transgender person. Eunuchs could be and would be classified as transgender today. And Jesus encouraged acceptance for everybody. He welcomed anyone who would follow Him. He welcomed the outcasts of their day. And it's my feeling that were He here today, as I believe He is in spirit, not in body, but in spirit, He would be welcoming us into the church as well. The church needs to learn that creation is full of variation and variety. All we have to do is look around us and see variety. It's everywhere. And it's in gender as well. And the church needs to learn that lesson. The church is called to help everyone grow in love and service to God, regardless of gender or other identities. I believe that the church follows the teachings of Jesus when it embraces and accepts the service of all people, especially people like Drew Phoenix, when it accepts the services of transgender people like Drew, who clearly have the gifts and graces and the abilities for ministry in the church. It's time for the church to abandon the politics of exclusion and to start following Jesus again. He reached out to include anyone who heard the good news and began to love God and neighbor. The church that carries his name should do no less. Today, I call on the delegates to the 2008 General Conference of the UMC to reject the politics of exclusion and affirm the inclusive example of Jesus by rejecting all attempts to discriminate against transgender persons in ministry and membership. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, and the process we're going to have here is each one of us are going to present a statement, as I just did, and then we're going to remain at the table and invite your questions. So as we're speaking, if anything comes to mind that you want to ask of us, we invite those questions to be asked at that time. So thank you very much. I'd like to have Drew come forward now and speak.